If you own an Ottawa condo, you might hate this video. If you're thinking about buying one, this could save you tens of thousands of dollars because a lot of condo values aren't sliding because the market is weak. They're sliding because owners are stuck in a three-way trap. Ownership costs are up, rent isn't keeping up pace, and if you're trying to sell, you're competing with brand new units or tons of other inventory that is presently on the market. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the real reasons condos are under pressure in Ottawa and the 3 types of condo owners who get hit the hardest and what to do if you're either an owner or a buyer. And stay to the end because I tell you the one condo stat that I'm watching in Ottawa that signals whether this gets worse or starts to stabilize. If we haven't met, my name is Liam Swords. I'm a residential real estate agent right here in Ottawa since 2002. Over the last 2+ decades, I've sold over 1,000 homes. All of my contact information is below in the description. Let's ground this with facts, not just headline vibes. Ottawa's overall market is not a free-for-all. It's closer to a balanced market than people think. But within the balanced market, condos are the soft spot. In the Ottawa Real Estate Board's latest market data update, the overall inventory is at 4.3 months of inventory. So in a balanced market, active listings, 2,500, up almost 28% year over year. Now, here's the condo problem. Apartment style condos are sitting at 7.9 months of inventory. That's basically double the pace of the overall market. And prices, they're not crashing overnight. They're sliding and softening. The average condo price in December of 2025 was $401,465. This is down almost 5% year over year. The average days on market in general in Ottawa right now is just over 35. Translation, buyers have time, choice, and leverage. Condo sellers feel it first. Here's why the condo trap feels so brutal compared to the freehold market. With a house, you basically have your mortgage, taxes, and maintenance. With a condo, you have all of that plus a second monthly bill that can rise whether you like it or not. It's called a condo fee. Condo fees aren't just fees. They're a reflection of building insurance costs, utilities in common areas, maintenance contracts, reserve fund contribution, repairs that aren't optional. And when these costs spike, the building has 2 levers to pull: raise fees gradually or issue a special assessment. The dreaded pay up now with a deadline. That's what traps people's psychology because it's not what you owe to the bank, it's what your building can demand of you. Now, add the second trap. The building cannibalizes itself in a slower market. You're not competing with Ottawa, you're competing with another condo that's presently on the market in your same building. Same layout, same finishes, same view, give or take a floor or 2. If there are 5 similar units for sale, 1 staged, 1 vacant, 1 cheaper, 1 has parking, buyers have a lot of options when they're shopping right now. That's how values slide without any dramatic headlines. Too much choice in the same building turns into price pressure. To understand why condo owners feel trapped now, well, you have to rewind to the era of cheap money. So from 2020 to 2022, rates were almost zero. Developers could not build fast enough and buyers were lined up for pre-sale. Investors were assigning units before the foundations were even poured. The narrative is simple. Condos always go up. It's the safe way in. Then the Bank of Canada slammed the brakes. Rates jumped, borrowing power collapsed, and the old narrative broke. And here's the key factor. Condos feel it faster than houses because the condo demand is more rate and price sensitive. So we had this ugly overlap. More completions and resale listings coming online. At the same time, demand cooled and monthly and ownership costs rose. And now the bills are coming due. Owners have counted on appreciation or staring at negative cash flow. And the very segment that was supposed to stabilize affordability is now testing the limits of it all. Let's break it down for the real reasons condos are under pressure in Ottawa because it's not one thing, it's stacking on top of each other. Number one, higher borrowing costs change the entire deal. The cheap money advantage is gone. Even if rates eventually settle, which they're starting to, the payment reality is different than it was 3 years ago. Number two, fees, insurance, inflation hit condos harder. This is the condo specific problem buyers don't fully price in. If the building's insurance cost jumps, if contract renewal prices are higher, if repairs pile up, those costs eventually show up in a form of fees or special assessments. Number three, renters have more options than before. This one matters a lot because condos relied on the just rent it out safety net. The CMHC, so that stands for the Canada Mortgage Housing Corporation, reported Ottawa's vacancy rate rose to 3% in 2025, and newly built properties had the highest vacancy at 6.7%. That means brand new, purpose-built rentals are competing harder for tenants, gyms, amenities, incentives, flexible leasing, and condo landlords are fighting for the same renter. The fourth, investor saturation. Some buildings are heavily investor owned, and when too many owners are trying to rent or sell at once, the building becomes its own marketplace and it cannibalizes itself. The fifth, the Ottawa stability cuts both ways. Here's the irony. Ottawa condos were supposed to be stable, but stability cuts both ways. Prices don't crash, but they also don't climb fast enough to bail you out if your monthly math is broken. Let's strip it down to the absolute basics. For a lot of homeowners who bought in the last couple of years, once you stack mortgage, condo fees, taxes, utilities, monthly carrying costs can land around $3,000. Meanwhile, market rent right now may land around $2,000 to $2,500, depending on size, parking, storage, and where the location is. That gap is the trap. And it's why just wait it out feels brutal. It's not waiting, it's paying. And here's the part buyers need to understand. Buyers have more choice than they've had in years. They can compare 5 nearly identical units in the same building. One staged, one vacant, one cheaper, one has parking, one has southwestern exposure, one has north exposure, like it's real. That's not emotion, that's reality. The old playbook, buy, rent easily, sell quickly, doesn't work the same way in Ottawa right now. When I say trapped, it's usually one of 3 owners. The first, the 2021 or 2022 buyer. We call this the COVID buyer. They stretch to get in, renewals hit, and the monthly math breaks. Number 2, the investor who assumed rent would carry them through this all, but borrowing costs rose faster than rents and fees didn't slow down. And the third, the newer build owner competing with their own building. Multiple listings, incentives, identical units create a ceiling on your resale price. Same city, same condo concept, different reason to sell. But if all of this shows up at the same time, there will be downward pressure on price. And in a second, I'm going to tell you the single biggest way to spot whether your building is heading into trouble or if you're headed to the promised land. It's one line in the condo documents that most buyers never read, and it can save you a financial headache. Ottawa didn't crash, it shifted. And here's what happened behind the scenes. Oversupply at the wrong price point. We built a lot of small investor-friendly units in Ottawa and not enough end-user family-friendly condos. Buyers became calculated. In a condo market, the buyer doesn't care what you paid for it in 2020 or 2021. They care what today's comparable data proves. If the builder's moving units with incentives and discounts, that becomes reality, folks. That's the new benchmark. So sellers get stuck in this gap. I need X. The market says Y. The affordability gap. Even though Ottawa is cheaper than Toronto, Vancouver, local incomes didn't rise fast enough to match higher borrowing costs. So what you're seeing here is not a temporary slowdown. It's a structural reset. And like every reset, it creates pain before opportunity. In other markets, the white knight is policy changes. In Ottawa, The white knight is simpler, supply tightening over time. If fewer new condo projects break ground for sale while demand slowly returns, inventory clears and prices will stabilize. The Ottawa Real Estate Board's year-end update signals we're already in a market where buyers have more leverage because of the oversupply right now. So here's what to expect over the next 12 to 18 months. Fewer projects breaking ground for sale, more rental-focused projects, gradual clearing of excess condo inventory, rents stabilizing as supply and demand rebalance, and a condo market that behaves more normally, decision based on math, not on momentum. That doesn't sound exciting, but it's healthy. Now, practical strategy. If you're an owner and feel trapped, the first thing I'd recommend is audit your numbers. Know your exact monthly shortfall, not the vibes, but the math. Number 2, reduce the gap within the rules. Depending on your building rules, furnished rentals, corporate lease, long-term tenants, quality upgrades, i.e. look at renting it out. The third, don't panic sell. Ottawa tends to move slower than Toronto or Vancouver. Give yourself a timeline and a plan, not a reaction. If you're buying, focus on building quality and location. 5 things I'd be checking. The reserve fund strength. Number 2, insurance, deductibles, recent claims. Number 3, condo fee trends over the last few years. Number 4, investor concentration in the building. Like, what's the makeup from owner to investor? And the 5th, are there any litigation or major legal issues taking place in the condominium? Because in this market, you're not just buying the unit, you're buying into a corporation. And yes, unit features matter more now also, like parking, balcony, exposure. This is a big one, exposure. Being on a south or western exposure means a ton for the quality of life when you're living in the unit and also on the resale side. Avoid tiny units that only appeal to investors. Focus on livable space. And above all, buy when you can afford it to own for long term, not because you expect a quick flip. Ottawa's condo market isn't crashing. Let me be clear, it's maturing. The easy, speculative years are behind us. Now it's about fundamentals, patience, and strategy. If you're selling, you need to be realistic. If you're buying, you need to be opportunistic. And if you're investing, you need to think long-term, because this reset is the filter separating short-term speculators from real wealth builders. Ottawa's condo story isn't over. It's entering a new chapter, and it will look very different than 2020 or 2022. Curious about the impact of new condo market? Well, I got you. Be sure to check out my next video right here where I break it all down for you.